there. Good to go?
Good to go.
All right. You got a pen? Yeah. Let me move this out the way.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Hola, Matt Kane. What's up, man?
London, make some noise. All right, ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
All right, let's go. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Thursday, September the 10th, 2020, and we're going to get right into it. I think Carla's got a lot to go on. We got a lot of viewer comments to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. Ready?
Yep.
Everybody logged in?
Yep. What's up, Mitrovic, Mikola, Alex Guillar, and Alex M.
All right. By the way, today what we really want to do is really do a lot of viewer comments. I know Carla has a lot of them written down. Carla has had a lot of articles and a lot of videos sent to her. By the way, before
What's up, this guy? I'm biased, huh?
I thought it was a great comment. I thought your comment was great.
I kind of laughed the whole way. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was great.
I was like, yeah, he's got a cheerleader. Awesome.
I was on your side, bro. I was on your side.
How were you on his side when you called Zverev
Well, again, I don't like or dislike the kid. We'll get into his comment. I don't like or I never said I liked or disliked him. I just said I think he comes across as a little soft, little bratty, and hopefully he grows out of it. I never said I didn't like or dislike him. You said you hated him.
I didn't say I hate him. I said I just don't understand how he is in the top. He should not be in the top. I mean, I've seen guys work harder than him, better than him.
We'll get into it. If the internet cuts out, by the way, I think the drill will stop, or we'll be forced to stop, and then we'll just start a brand new video. It takes me a minute to get started, so if we lag and cut out, just kind of hang tight, and I guess just go back to the channel and wait for the next one. So real quickly, to start, Carla and I want to start today with a thank you. We have always done this type of conversation between the two of us over a lot of years, and sometimes with our kids. Really, it's you guys that have made this happen. If not for you, there is no this, and I really want to thank everybody for that. A lot of you have asked us about getting something called a bot, a BOT. I don't know what that is.
I learned from Ethan today. He texted Ethan at Texas. He'll send me a lot of texts and stuff, and I had to ask him. I'm like, "What's up with these bots?" Because he's like, "You guys have some
Hold
stuff.
on, the kids are going crazy.
You have some stuff that shouldn't be on there on your channel." He said, "So you might want to remove it." And I get a lot of the stupid spams. I guess is what you call bots. So he explained to me that bots. I've heard that you can. He said you can purchase bots, and it makes people think that your YouTube channel is bigger than what it is. And then I know my son explained it to us. I definitely don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. I think it's pretty stupid, actually.
Yeah, hence the thank you. Every person that watches this, we didn't ask in a sense. Like, we didn't beg anyone. We do it because we enjoy it. We do it because we have been in the tennis community our entire lives, and our parents, our dads are both coaches. So in essence, we were kind of born and raised into it. I feel like if you have to buy a view or buy someone to watch you, I really feel like it's kind of fake. We would do this.
Matt Stillander is a bot.
Hold on, the kids are here, so.
Well, that's okay. They're making their own lunch. It's all right. It doesn't matter. They're on lunch break. I'm sure that a spoon spinning is not a big deal.
It's just annoying. The kids tend to.
They go back to school, by the way.
Thank goodness.
They do go back to school.
They've been out of school 6 months. It's time for them to go back. I'm going nuts. But anyway, especially when there's 4 of them here, all day long, every day. And kids like to fight and annoy the daylights out of you. Anyway, but number one, we like to be real. I know sometimes we get in heated debates and we have disagreements, but everyone here is, for the most part, is very professional. Whether we agree or whether we don't agree, I don't agree. I really feel like it's a family in a sense. So I don't want to have something gain viewers that may or may not like it or what. So what you see is what you get, and the people that are here because we all want to be. Nothing fake, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Two more things real quick. Someone sent us a message that indicated that Denis Shapovalov had come out with a song
Who was it? As a matter of fact, I think it was. I wrote down his
Is it
name.
Gene Swart?
No, it was this guy. This guy. I wrote it down. Hold on.
Okay, so
Yeah, this guy. I listened to Chapo's song, Night Train.
It's hideous.
Nobody like me. New gear every day. I still fly high. I'm like,
Okay.
what is this?
Okay, so the reason why I have to call this
I
out,
still fly high.
the reason why I have to call this out is hideous, is for about 4 years of my life, I spent a lot of times in club doing freestyle competitions and a lot of hip hop stuff. And one of the only reasons why I was ever accepted into that type of community in the first place is because, quote unquote, I didn't sound like a white boy. I can promise you, if Shapovalov came into some of the clubs like in Atlanta or Houston or New Orleans that we frequented, he would have gotten bounced out of there. That was the cheesiest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't know where he's going with that, but, stick to tennis because that was whack.
Well, he can. I mean, geez, I mean, he's a tennis player. Why not? Why not make it fun? I'm sure he's not trying to be a rap artist.
Man, that was awful.
Yeah, it was awful. At first, I didn't recognize his voice, but then I was like, wait a minute, that is Chapo. But he sounds, I was like, okay, he's from Canada. What was the guy's name? Informer? What was his name?
Informer was Snow? Was it Snow?
Snow? I think it was Snow. He had a
Yeah.
one-time wonder hit is what you call it?
Yeah, and that was even cheesy too. But even I think his name was Snow. But I think that was even cheesier than that. I think that album, because of that song.
He can actually rap. I promise you, he can rap. You'd be shocked. At first, when he said, I can rap, I was like, yeah, right. But then when he started rapping, I was like, okay.
Anyway, definitely stick with tennis, bro. Don't bring that to a club in like Houston, Atlanta, New Orleans, Birmingham, wherever. Don't bring that there because you will get straight up tossed out of there. Whack. All right, so let's start with a viewer comment.
So Ethan said, why not? Because he's bad at it, laugh out loud. It reminded me when I was in middle school and wore a hoodie all the time, listening to nothing but Eminem and Kanye, and I thought I was fly, laugh out loud. Can you imagine?
Well, those.
That means you're super young, because I listen to Wu-Tang. I listen to
Nas,
Black Sheep,
Mobb Deep.
Yeah, so that means we're a lot older than you.
Yeah, so I stopped doing that because I spent some time away, like 4 years, and I had to get out of that because I landed myself in some trouble. So anyway, that's in the past. We still do turn on some music here, and they still want to hear when we have company. They still want me to do some stuff, and I do it for fun sometimes, but nothing good came from it, I must say.
So Mitrovic says, come on, it's like Jamaicans on Winter Olympic.
What, like the bobsled team or something?
Yeah.
All right.
So we don't see Jamaicans on the Winter Olympics. We see them on the Summer Olympics, right? Because they run and run.
Well, they had a bobsled team, right?
Isn't there someone from Jamaica that's a viewer?
Yes. By the way, find his name if you can. And it might be tough because there were so many comments, but. Two people right off the top we want to give one a welcome to, and if you can find his name, great. But there's a young man that was messaging me early this morning that is from Jamaica. Welcome, great to have you here. And the second one is a congratulations to Jack Nolte, who's been a viewer and a fine one at that for a long time. He just graduated today with a degree in business from college, so congratulations.
Good job.
Hopefully you get your master's degree and continue with that, and it will suit you well. So I would recommend pushing that to your master's degree, PhD, whatever.
Bill Clarity. He even left a comment. He said this U.S. Open disqualification will add to Djokovic's legendary few years from now when history is examined around a tennis discussion table. Rise Nole. I'm a Jamaican fan.
Welcome. Glad to have you for sure. Let's go. And hope you comment some more.
You're turning 29 in 2 weeks. Good for you, Ethan. I thought you were a lot younger. I thought Ethan was a lot younger. Okay.
Big 2'9". Wish I was 29 again.
Kanye West is only good in South Park.
I haven't seen South Park in years.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with some viewer comments that you wrote. By the way, if there's anyone...
You're half Jamaican. Okay, cool, Matt.
Either way, that's heritage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, anyone on this show that wants anything red whatsoever, and we miss it, let us know. Again, this is you're part of what we do. If it's not for you, there is no us. That's a good Beatles song.
Jude says, "Hi, Justin and Carla. Let's go."
Hey Jude.
And Carteri's gonna be 51 November, so he's a Scorpio like you.
I'm November 20th.
Those Scorpios are hot temper.
November 20th. What you got? What's the birthday, Carteri?
Yeah.
If anyone wants something red, though, and you know,
let's do first. We're gonna read, but let's first do. There's a video that someone sent me. Michael Walker, are you on? I don't think so.
We write things because
November 4th.
We write things because we want people to hear what we say. Otherwise, we wouldn't write them anyway. So if there's something you want to say, put it in comments. If there's something you want us to read, let us know, and we will definitely read it. Okay? There's not a lot of matches, so it's about you.
Let me start with this article. Michael Walker yesterday texted. You know, he has my phone, so he sent me a text, and he wanted to prove his point why Federer and Djokovic is not the same thing, you know. But then he sends me a video I have never seen, and I said, well, thank you. I think you just proved my point. It's Ostapenko throwing her racket at the ball boy. I don't know if any of you seen this. I think he probably put the link. Did you put the link on that video?
When a couple people said I was lying about Federer hitting a ball boy and everybody laughed it off, I found the video and I put it in comments, or the article rather, not video. I found the article and put it in comments. And then she got...
Well, I got the Ostapenko video, and I'll put the link. But
yeah, but I didn't put that one.
You didn't put that one. The opponent she was facing was at the Auckland Open. It was Brody.
Yeah.
And it was 2-2 in the third set tiebreak. So they're playing a long point, and Ostapenko goes after a backhand. There's no way she can get it because it was cross court. So she slings her racket at it, you know, out of frustration because she can't get it. Her racket spins and hits the ball boy. Did not get a point, did not get disqualified. So Brady tells the umpire, why didn't you disqualify her? She just hit the ball boy with her racket. She threw her racket. And so the discussion goes, and Brody gets pretty upset, kind of whining about it and crying. So then the supervisor comes out, and after the supervisor comes out, they give her a penalty point. Because, you know, she threw her racket. And then Ostapenko gets upset and keeps arguing, you know, why did she get a point penalty? Anyways, at the end, Brody wins the match. They didn't really shake hands too well, and Brody's still in her face that she should have gotten disqualified. So I thought the rule is, you hit somebody, you get disqualified, right?
I mean,
she swung her racket. She swung it, and it hit the ball boy. It hit him. But she didn't get disqualified?
I'm curious. I haven't seen this. I've heard about it. Was this prior to or post Ostapenko winning the French Open?
No, she already had won the French Open.
So she already won it.
Ostapenko.
What year did Ostapenko win the French Open? Was it 2016?
I'm sure someone could look that up.
So what year did this happen?
This wasn't 2016, but late. This is Wimbledon.
Was it Wimbledon or Auckland?
Well, Auckland, isn't Auckland grass?
No, Auckland. Isn't Auckland prior to the Australian Open? Isn't Auckland a hard court tournament?
I'm getting it twisted.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty certain that Auckland is a warm-up tournament for the Australian. I may have that off, but I'm fairly certain.
So there is a video on YouTube. I'm going to post it. Ostapenko was definitely intentional, said this guy. I mean, even if it was an accident, because I hear the umpire said it wasn't. It was accidental. Well, Djokovic walking back was also accidental. He knew, and it's even worse because he wasn't even. He just went like that. It just so happened the lady was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and it hit the wrong part, so he got disqualified.
I'm curious, though, the chain of events here with this Ostapenko racket toss. I'm fairly certain, again, I think Auckland is in New Zealand, and
Alex said 2017 French Opens when Ostapenko.
Okay, so it was prior to her winning the French Open, so it wasn't a favoritism thing. I was thinking, you know, maybe it happened just after she won the French, and then she threw it afterwards, and maybe she was a favorite there, and they didn't.
Thanks, James Stephen. Yeah, she didn't win the. But either way, a rule is a rule. Just like Michael Walker sends me another video of that player Michael Mo.
MMOA.
And he got disqualified. He threw his racket. It hit the line stretch, and he got disqualified. So we can't have. It's like saying. It's like I told him. It's like a cop stopping one person and said, "Well, I'm going to give you the speeding ticket. I'm not going to give you the speeding ticket."
This happens every day that you're talking about.
I mean, how do you choose? I'm going to give you the speeding ticket. Nah, I'm not going to give you just because you're cute. You know, I mean.
I think the reality in our country is now is a police officer might pull someone over and kill them, and then they may pull someone over and not. I think that's more. I think that's more of the truth these days here. I'm just saying. I'm not going to go there, but damn.
I mean, one person threw his racket and he got disqualified, right? And there was a girl threw her racket and she didn't get disqualified. I mean, you have to live by the rules. Otherwise, I mean, we're twisting rules. And that just didn't make sense to me. If you throw it, I mean, if you watch the video, she literally threw it. There was no chance she was going to get to the ball. It was uncalled for. And yes, it was an accident. She didn't mean to hit him.
So, but again, so was Djokovic. Is it? And and we've been debating this for a while. Was he frustrated? Sure, but not.
The topic is tired, but I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, I agree, Wildlife. Djokovic was rightfully disqualified. Yes, we're all saying he should be disqualified, but disqualify all those that do the same. Absolutely.
Yeah. So in other words, there has to be some consistency within that, and there just isn't, and that's the point we're trying to prove. The different people tend to play or seem to be, I guess, play by different rules. I guess you could say, and I think the moral of the story here is some people are treated differently, and there's nothing strange about that.
That's life, though.
That's life.
How many teachers give kids an A just because they kiss their ass or because they're popular, and then the other kid that worked hard and maybe was at 89.8 doesn't get the A?
Yeah, they get stuck with the B.
So that happens. That's life. It's unfair, right?
It definitely happens. And also, again...
What do you mean you're unhappy that no one's talking well about how Pablo Carreno Busta? You missed yesterday's show, Yemi.
Yeah, you must not have watched yesterday.
We talked a lot about this.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that.
We
can talk about that now. Again, I have written here, one of our middle segments is going to be talking about all the semifinalists. Osaka, Carreno Busta, Medvedev, but he definitely missed yesterday's show because we did talk about that. I didn't put it in the title. But
by the way, Ostapenko's a brat. Anyways, she's a brat. I can't stand that girl. I bitch slap that girl if I saw her on the tennis court. Just saying. Every time she plays, she's a little. Gene sent me an article. Yastremska ends her coaching relationship with Sasha Bajin.
Yeah.
Was that expected? Yeah, because she hasn't done much being with him. Can we blame him? I think we should blame more her for her negative attitude and her countless timeouts. She does it all the time. I think she's a brat as well.
Yes and no. I mean, Yastremska's a young girl, still very young. But let's look at Sasha Bajin for a minute. As a young coach, for me, I mean, I've coached for 22 years at this point. As a young coach, I thought I was ready to take bigger jumps and get into more advanced coaching when I was very young, only to find out that I wasn't ready for it. And I'm not saying Sasha Bajin is or is not, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think Sasha Bajin made a name for himself as Serena Williams' hitting partner, or got maybe he had a name elsewhere or whatever. But here, at least in the U.S., the only time you would hear his name would be associated with Serena Williams. Very synonymous with the likes of Patrick Mouratoglou. I can tell you this: Serena Williams created Patrick Mouratoglou. If not for her, I don't know if he would have the success that he has now. And the marketability that he has now outside of his, good looks or whatever.
Well, someone told, I think it was Michael Walker, he said that Patrick comes from a very rich family. But either way, though, I mean, I don't care how rich you are, it's hard to make it you have to market yourself, and he found the person, or Serena found him, the perfect student to get his name out there, because he is credited winning 10 slams with her. More like Serena could have won those 10 slams, I think, with any coach.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
She was already made.
How many slams?
You can say that it's like saying, well, let's credit this coach because Roger Federer won this many slams. Same with Djokovic and same with Nadal. Once you start winning and you're in a role and you are meant to be a legend, a champion, the coach is just there for moral support, I think.
I wonder what the count is. If anybody can tell me, how many major tournaments did Serena win prior to Jack in the Box Mouratoglou that pops up in everyone's boxes when they seem to be jumping on the stage and winning? You won't see him Jack in the Box pop up in anyone else's box if they're not winning. So it seems to me, is there any player, by the way, that Mouratoglou has created from scratch, off the chopping block, came to him from a nothing perspective and created a champion out of them? I can't name one. I'm not saying there's not one.
I'm sure.
I don't know the answer.
I'm sure it's Murat, whatever his stupid name is, Mr. Good Looks, whatever his name is. Mouratoglou. I've got a lot of questions here.
All right, roll them out. This is for them. Let's do that.
So
let's do their stuff.
Azarenka. So hold on, let me go back because I don't want to miss. I was at 10. Djokovic will be back stronger. Azarenka versus Serena. Any tips?
Or thoughts, rather?
Thoughts. That's gonna be a tough match for Serena. I think Azarenka's playing happy, fluid, no pressure on her. That's gonna be tough, and Serena's got the pressure because she wants to win another slam. I have a feeling that Azarenka is going to get her back. Last year, Cincinnati Open, Azarenka had her. Remember that match? It went to 3 sets. Had her. I think that she will get her this time.
All right, my thoughts on that with the Azarenka Serena match. I think Azarenka will win the match. Honestly, I think she may do it in straight sets and she may do it decisively. Last night I was watching. Last night or the night before, I can't remember these days. When we do these majors, they get crammed together. Azarenka had an interview. It was either last night or the night before, and when she said what she said, I felt what she was saying. She said something, and I won't directly quote it, but Azarenka said something along the lines of, I don't give a damn what people think about me anymore. I don't give a damn what people, she didn't say damn, but she was saying it with feistiness. You know, I don't care what people think about me. I don't care what people think. I'm playing very well. I'm playing at a high level. I've been through enough now. Now I've dealt with my off-court issues. It made me stronger, and I'm ready to play. If I need to stay out on the court for 3 hours, I'll stay out on the court for 3 hours. If I need to stay out on the court all night long to play, I'll play. But I'm here to play, and I feel like I'm playing very well. If you look at her statistics throughout this tournament, now Serena Williams, by the way, her last 3 matches, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm shooting from the hip, so don't call me a liar if I'm wrong.
3 sets, yes.
I think the last 3 matches she's played 3 sets, right?
You're right.
Wear and tear, time on court, the bucket's filling up with pebbles, right? Mm-hmm. Azarenka, I'm not saying, I think her first match, didn't she go 3 sets?
She just blew off Mertens 6-0, 6-1.
Just dominated.
Dominated her, and then she played, who was in the last match she had? Oh, Muhova. That was a 3 sets. And then Swiatek she blew. Who was the other player that she played? Sabalenka she went through.
Well,
so she really hasn't had a tough battles except with Muhova.
Look at the statistics.
What's up, DAJ Kumar? I've never heard of it. I gotta say hello. Don't get mad at me. Don't give me that face. You do it at the tennis court all the time.
I can't even get a word in.
So what?
Damn.
You talk a lot.
You talk like a damn... Jeez, like damn Charlie Brown's teacher. I'm kidding. I love you. You know, I got
yeah, I'm sure he does.
Got nothing but love for
yeah,
you.
right.
No, yeah. Hungry.
Don't.
All right, but look at Azarenka's statistics. If you look where she's striking the ball on the court, she's not hanging 7 feet behind the baseline. She's striking the ball early, and then her percentage of shots where they land are. I think what was her last match? Azarenka, her last match was hitting the ball 93% of the time, and don't call me out of my stat. I didn't write this. I was just asked. So again, I'm shooting from the hip. But the last match, I think she was hitting 93% of her shots well off into the forehand wing and well off into the backhand wing, and only something like 7% of her shots up the middle of the court. Correct? Or am I right or wrong? Something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So the problem with Serena's performance to this point is that she has given up some loose sets. She's pulled it out. But she's given up some loose sets. She can't afford to give up a loose set to Vika in this tournament, because I can promise you that Vika has been through enough off the court to just not put up with nothing. She's not worried about really anything at this point except getting back to where she has been before. I think Azarenka is a heavy favorite in my opinion. You'll call me out for this, but I think Azarenka should be the favorite in this match based upon the tournament, this tournament alone. I think she's played better. I think she is more fit. I think she has less miles on her wheels, and I think she is here to not mess around. I think she's here to play. Not saying Serena isn't, but the set, like Serena gave up the first set to Pironkova. She came out swinging, had some big aces early on, but nonetheless gave a setup. She can't do that against Azarenka, and I don't think Azarenka is going to give up a loose set. Do you see what I'm saying? So tips for Serena would be, make sure you don't give up a loose set, number 1. Number 2, don't allow Victoria Azarenka to take the ball early and to hit 93% of her balls way off on the left-hand side or right-hand side or forehand, backhand wings, because Serena's going to get tired. And then she'll have a final play if she were to win, meaning Serena, and then have to face someone with the likes of Osaka and doubtfully Brady, maybe, and maybe that would be a great thing or not. I'm really pulling for Osaka here simply because of her motivation by a belief that she has, and I think that anyone that has a certain belief and they believe in that, I think that helps them even motivate more. But I would watch out for Azarenka here in the Serena match, and Osaka I think should watch out for Azarenka too. But we'll see. But Serena needs to dictate the first set, the second set, and if she goes into a third, I don't know if I think she would have a chance in the third. I just don't.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. It should be a good match anyways, right?
It should be. I can't wait for it, actually.
This guy said we might get the Cincy final we didn't get to see in 2 weeks ago. Osaka and Azarenka. Yeah, I think Osaka will go through Brady.
This guy 1000 said that?
Yeah, Yemi.
I agree with you.
Yami says the happiest I've seen her. Alex says Serena needs to play her A game to win this match.
Yeah, she's got to take the ball early. Mm-hmm. If Serena finds herself moving laterally, meaning, in tennis we want to move. So if I'm on a tennis court and and I'm standing in the middle of this court, here's the court, right? And let's say this is half the court. If I'm here at the baseline, I want to be moving it X patterns. I want to be cutting off angles here. And if I have to defend, I want to go back so I can step into the ball. If Serena finds herself running ragged laterally, as Azarenka has been firing balls to the forehand and the backhand side 93% of the time, if she's running laterally and not able to take the ball early or to have the fitness to step back and to defend aggressively, then it's going to be a long day for Serena. I'm sorry. But Azarenka, I think, is the favorite to win. I'm curious what the Vegas odds are on this match. Does anyone know that? What are the betting odds on the Serena-Azarenka match?
I don't know.
Is Serena the favorite? And if so, is it a sucker bet?
I think that's, for me, I would say a few things to Serena.
You
have to serve big.
Well, she always serves big.
Serve big, and you have to put pressure on Azarenka's serve because Azarenka's serve is not as big as Serena's. Put pressure on her from the beginning. Step into that second serve.
So Azarenka's not going to play. She's going to fight. She's going to be ready for war.
And I would bring Azarenka forward. The side-to-side movement, she has improved, but the forward movement, meaning get her up to the net, that would be her weakness. You can pass her there. Just saying.
I'd be real careful with Azarenka here if I was Serena. Again, the reason I want Serena to win for one major reason, and I think most of us would agree, that she is the greatest of all time, in my opinion, in terms of slam count. I think Steffi Graf is debatable, the greatest as well. But the major count that Serena is counting, to me, is fictitious. No disrespect to Margaret Court. But the majority of her titles were Australian Open, a large portion of them. And when those Australian Opens took place, no disrespect to the Open, but this was prior to a lot of international players traveling there. So a lot of her majors were playing fellow countrymen, no disrespect there either. But she didn't have really anyone to battle with for a lot of those. I mean, she would go right through everyone all the way to the final and wouldn't get really tested. So if you take some of those away, just one or two of them, maybe not all of them, but just one or two, Serena would already have that. And Serena, does anyone think that Serena would already be retired and be hanging out with her wonderful family if she already had that record? Don't you think so?
Of course she would.
So
would Federer.
So she's chasing a record that she shouldn't have to chase, but unfortunately that's just the way it is. So
this guy said, "Who is even Margaret Court?" That's what I think of her records.
Yeah, I mean,
let's go back.
And I agree with that. I mean, I don't need to explain that. We've talked about it so long. But Serena is chasing a record that she shouldn't have to. If she didn't have to, she would be long retired, and no one would ever come close to getting to Serena's number. But because of this thing, she's trying to do it. And unfortunately, she's going to run into Azarenka and then potentially Osaka or maybe Brady. And that's going to be a rough go for Serena. I don't see her winning this title. I just don't.
I think many of the viewers agree. She needs to, step up her game quick. Lucifer has an interesting question, I guess.
What you got?
How do you guys feel about politics mixing with sports?
Oh, shit.
Talking the knee-wearing BLM mask and so on.
It's a good question.
You answer it first, or you want me to go first?
You can go ahead.
I think it's their right to do whatever they want. I don't agree with the kneeling. I have a son that's in the military, so I don't agree with that. I mean, you're disrespecting the military. To me, it's a big slap in the face. You're in a country that's free.
Yeah,
you should definitely not kneel. I'm against that. As far as the mask, wear whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You have the right to speak. But the kneeling, to me, is disrespectful.
I was raised a Navy brat, meaning, I don't know if you know that term. My dad was a doctor in the Navy, and he spent 26 years in the Navy. We moved everywhere as a kid. I was born in San Francisco. By the time I was 2, we moved to Southern California, San Diego area, actually Encinitas, and the Hemet area of California. There was one constant in my life outside of tennis, and that was study and education. And a lot of our education as tennis players was this, and it's very short and it's very simple. My dad used to tell me there's 3 things we will never talk about unless it's just with me, and these things are this. He said, we're a military family. He has been 4 tours on carriers in Vietnam and made how many calls to parents that this soldier in his operating room just died on the table. He said, everyone bleeds and dies the same, so there's 3 things that we're going to not talk about in this family or they'll be hell to freaking pay. And he didn't say it that kindly. Number 1 was race. Number 2 was religion. And number 3 was politics. He said, if you get in that conversation with anyone, someone will disagree with you, and then you will have hell to pay. So there was 3 things I was raised on. Number 1, it does not matter your race, it does not matter your religion, and it does not matter your political beliefs. I think we all can see that because I'm married to a Spanish woman and my kids are mixed. Politics, I think, has no place in the sport whatsoever. Now, something like Naomi Osaka and her belief, I think it is very fitting, and I think it is very positive for her to do so. For anyone not here, and people here may agree or disagree too, but there has been a stream of very awful, disgusting, despicable videos and incidents where young men, some of them young women that haven't made the news, that have been basically just torn down with bullets in the street for really and truly no reason. And for that reason, I applaud Osaka. I said everybody on the other show the other day that when I think it's Arnaud Arbery, I think his father was telling Osaka that he appreciated her, and it was kind of a tear-jerking moment for me. And again, I don't get into race, religion, politics, but I think her belief is much bigger than that. I think her belief is a true one, and that this stuff happens, and it's time to stop it. And I'll leave it at that. But
let me go back to something Ethan said, and I will disagree with you on that. Ethan says, all I say about that is that there was a football player from the Army family, Nate Boyer, that told Cap to kneel because soldiers take a knee in front of a fallen brother's grave to show respect. Yes. So it was actually done in order to show respect and not the opposite, but whatevers. But that could be true, but there's a lot of people that kneel not for that reason. The reason they kneel is because they don't like the president or they're against that. That's the reason they do it. Yeah. So that's disrespectful. Not to him. I could give a shit who the president is. I could give a rat's ass. But you don't kneel for that reason. I get that, what you said, but that is, these guys are not kneeling for that. They're not kneeling that, just like some people rioting for the wrong reasons. I mean, from a realistic standpoint, in terms some players, whether it doesn't matter race, religion, or creed, or culture, or what, some players do kneel because of the president. I think when the players do kneel because of the president of the U.S., that is, I think they're naive to how the system really works. If anyone truly thinks that the president is the one that calls the shots, you have a lot to learn about politics. The president is a puppet. The president is a mere spokesperson for the billionaires and trillionaires, for that matter, behind the scenes that are telling them what to do in their ears and staying out of the limelights, whether it's the Soros or the Rockefellers or the Carnegie families or the big players, the tobacco people, the oil tycoons in Saudi Arabia. Those are the people that give these campaigns the billions of dollars to run their ads, and those are the people that dictate what they will do and what they will not do. So to kneel for the president, I think, is stupid. I think maybe you should kneel for the people who are actually controlling the puppet. So hence why she's saying, I don't care who the president is, because they really don't make any difference. That's why I laugh at all these people. I just laugh. I have to laugh.
Yeah, the president. The president is the fall boy or the fall lady or whatever for the money behind the scenes, and the people with that huge money, they don't want to be in the scenes. They want to be left alone. They keep their mouth shut. They stay in their castles behind the walls in North Carolina and upstate New York or wherever, and they keep their mouth shut because they don't want to deal with that, which is smart. But at the same time, if you're kneeling because you don't like Trump or whoever, then you're kneeling for the wrong reason. You need to find out who their campaign donors are and kneel because of them.
Jack Nolte said Serena had 13 slams before Patrick. So that's it.
Great stat.
And James Stevens says, I think Serena can get a better coach, but Serena's too comfortable with Patrick.
I like this
so many years, she is scared for major change.
Who said that?
It's James Stevens.
Great comment. So far, the comment of the day. James Stevens, great comment. And then I can't say anything more about it because, again, she won. Someone said before that she won 13 majors before. Who said that? Nolte?
Yes.
So here you are. You two guys came together for a great one comment. So thank you for the stat. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Patrick Mortaglou, to me, this is just my opinion, but Patrick Mortaglou tends to pop up. And that's why I call him Jack in the Box. Because you see a player like Tsitsipas or Coco Gauff or whoever, once they start winning, all of a sudden you just see this guy pop up right on TV, right in their box. You know, what is he doing? Is he kissing their ass? Is he giving some money away? Is he killing them with their good looks? because I have not really seen any player from scratch. I mean, starting them.
You would think her
starting them as a junior and developing them to a Grand Slam champion. Who? Can you name one? Maybe there is, but I can't think of it.
I'm kind of shocked that Serena's still with that coach. You would think her husband would have a little problem with it. You know, I would have a problem with it.
Well, Ohanian's a billionaire in himself, so I don't think he's too worried about it.
Yeah, but still, would you want me to?
Well, no.
If I married you and I have a coach I had an affair with, would you want to be around me? Like, would you trust?
I would trust you, but I wouldn't like it.
Exactly. She could find another coach.
I wouldn't like it, but go back to, what was it, Steve?
Oh, and yeah, Steve.
What did he say again?
Let's go back. Here it is. Okay. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay. I think Serena can get a better coach, but Serena's too comfortable with Patrick after so many years.
Okay.
And she's scared for a major change.
Okay. His last statement, scared of a major change. Do human beings like drastic changes? Do human beings like to change? Let's talk about anything that you have been accustomed to. Isn't it scary to change? How many times in my life, Carla, have we moved? And
I've changed a lot.
So we went from coaching to having a restaurant, and then back to coaching, and from one city to another city. You've been all over the world and been having people with machine guns outside of your house to protect your house from intruders. We are all, as human beings, scared of change.
I can change. I've done it a lot.
But no one likes change, because once something becomes normal to you and constant, the last thing we want to do is change. It becomes scary. It becomes unnerving.
Not for me.
Maybe not you.
Some people here say they don't like it because when young people like change and older ones do not. I'm always for the adventure. Let's go.
I mean, I agree with you.
I'm ready for what life has in store for me, so I don't mind change. I really don't.
Does anyone believe in destiny? Do you think that the lives we lead are luck and they are and not determined, or do you think we have destiny from the get-go? Are our lives pre-planned in a way? Whether we make right decisions or wrong decisions, are they destined to happen, or is it just a luck game? I believe in destiny, and I believe as long as you're a good person and you do well. And do the right things, I believe that things will work out for you, whether you make change or not. Can Serena Williams look in the mirror and say, I'm a good person and I've done really well, and if I go from one coach to the other, that I will succeed? And I think so. I think maybe Serena's had some tirades on the court, and who hasn't? And some people really hate her and some people really like her. I'm not a super huge fan. I like her, but I mean, Serena to me is the greatest in a sense, but because of some of the antics over the years, it's kind of backed me off as being a super fan.
I love her, and I think the reason her antics are there is because she's had to fight through a lot.
Agree.
And like I said, I think people hate her because of her race, and she's a woman. And simple.
I can agree with that.
There's no one else that can convince me. You say her attitude. She has a right to have that attitude. She's won a lot of slams.
Okay, I disagree there. I disagree.
Well, she's gone through a lot of shit.
What gives you the right to have an attitude?
Because she's gone through a lot of shit. Okay,
so you can go on the street and be a bit
No, what I'm saying is she's had to fight. She's had to fight to get there. People have disrespected because of her race. Hey, the whole world is going through this right now. And she's had to fight, okay? She's had to fight for it. And she feels, we watch her play Jennifer Capriati, right?
Yeah, right.
The umpire took so many points away from her before they came out with the new Hawkeye system. She should have won that match.
Yeah, that was
She
crazy.
lost that match. Why did the umpire call those balls out when they were like way in? She's had to fight at the French Open when Justine hadn't clearly put her hand up. And she said she didn't. And then the whole French crowd boos her, made her cry. She lost that match. That was not right. She's had to fight for many, many things. The whole coaching thing. And now you're allowed to coach?
Who is the coach then? Pretty boy Jack in the Box Mortagaloo?
What I'm saying is she's had to battle, just like Venus, many, many times. So people get this attitude, instead of putting it in a positive way, they get mean, instead of thinking, rationalizing, hey, just because they mistreated me, maybe I shouldn't, like I've had many things towards me, and my reaction is I'm just going to ignore you. I don't fight it the way she does. I'm different, but some people can't. And I have a friend that goes through this, and I tell her, you cannot do that. You have to ignore it. Some people are different.
Okay, I disagree in a way. What does my dad tell all the kids when he comes here and he sees them bent out of shape about something or arguing amongst each other? He always says you have to roll with the blows. Life will deal you some bad cards. Life will deal you some good cards. You have to just roll with the blows. I do not think because you've been through some stuff that gives you the right to be an asshole.
Justin,
I mean,
when somebody comes up to you,
I've been to prison. Am I an asshole to everybody?
But when somebody comes and attacks you, your reaction is what?
Okay,
fight.
okay.
That is your reaction. That is her reaction.
I do stay ready to fight.
Exactly. And she is ready to fight. She doesn't know how to channel it and just let it roll off her shoulder and just continue. Her reaction is to fight. And on top of that, she's rich. And she's the best woman ever. So she feels like she can do it.
Well, okay.
She gets away with it because
then I have to agree with you there because you are right about something. I just thought about it because you said it. You said her reaction is to fight. I have a psychology degree, and one of the things we learn is 2 human responses. There's 2 ways that humans respond.
She's not a prima donna, Carteri. I'm sorry. I just explained why she acts that way.
Wait a minute. Carteri is right here a little bit because you can't tell me that Serena isn't semi-diva-ish.
Again, for the reasons that I explained, Venus knows how to channel it. Venus, when I met Venus, before they were Serena Venus was more of, she didn't want to talk to you because she's been through a lot and she was standoffish, whereas Serena was very sweet, very kind, talk to you, blah, blah, blah. But as the careers kept going, Venus learned to be more of a, classy woman.
Venus was always a classy.
She learned how to channel it the right way, whereas her sister took it the other way that most people take it. And now here she is with many slams. She's got money. She's got the records. So she feels she has the right to do that. See what I mean?
Okay, two things real quick. Venus Williams to me is one of my favorite tennis players of all time. One of my favorite matches of all time, I think it was 1999, I think. But I think it was the 1999 Wimbledon final. Wasn't Venus Williams playing Steffi Graf in that final? Someone can quote me on that. But Venus Williams to me is a very elegant and classy tennis player. She's still around. I like Venus a lot. But Venus is to me a very classy player. But number 2, back to what you were saying about Serena's reaction is to fight. There's 2 reactions that 98% of us human beings do when the shit hits the fan. One is to fight and one is to flight. So the fight or flight response. You are correct, Carla. When I get pissed off or someone crosses me the wrong way,
he's like, screw you.
I am ready to fight.
Where I am, it just says
the last tennis tournament we went to, we had the tournament director that purposely sent his wife out to police officer me to make sure I wasn't coaching from the sideline. And what did I tell her? And what did I do a video on? And what do I still freaking get pissed off about? I don't care who you are. If you piss me off, I'm ready to fight because it's not my choice. I spent a long time in a place where if I didn't do that, it would have been worse.
Again, it's condition. It's everybody's different. I'm the type of person that I've been attacked just because of my race. People say things, and I've learned before I was a fighter. I'm a fighter here, like with tennis and stuff. But when it comes to that stuff, I ignore it and I continue. And that's it.
And be descriptive on why that is, though, Carla. When we have coached at different locations and I have not been around, a lot of people have come to me, not knowing you're my wife, saying, "What's up with the Mexican on the court?" And you're not Mexican. You're from New York, for crying out loud.
But nobody should be.
But yes,
nobody should feel bad that they be called Mexican too, because
there's nothing wrong with being Mexican.
You're making it sound like Mexicans are bad.
They're not. I'm just saying what was told to me. In other words, racist statements have been told to me many times over the years where Carla's coaching and they don't know she's my wife, and hey, why? I didn't mean it that way. Obviously, I'm married to you, but
Alex says I love being Mexican, and good for you.
Great
Alex,
job. Let's go. I was raised in Southern California, so believe me, that's part of what we do. I did not mean it like that. You know that. Heck, I'm married.
What I mean is that
I didn't mean it that way.
No,
but that's what has come to me.
Yes,
that's what I've heard, especially in this part of the country.
It's called ignorance,
exactly.
And that's why I've learned that if people are ignorant, and you can't help ignorance, they learned it from somewhere, and so you move on and point. That's it. Momo says Serena is like Djokovic, a warrior mentality. It's a fighting spirit. That's what makes them winners. It's the courage to run away but stand up.
Yeah. Agreed. Again, I don't think, though, that on the world stage with millions of people watching you, that because you've been through a lot does not entitle you to be an asshole.
Yeah, I get that. But again, I explained why it happens. And yes, she doesn't know how to control herself. I said this. But I will still cheer for her. Because because that record is stupid.
The record's stupid.
The record is stupid.
The record's stupid, so go Serena. If Serena already had it, and she was already. I mean, who in the hell can win 23 majors right now?
Terry, I think you have the right. Just like I don't like Zverev, we can't like every player. You said I can't stand Serena. It's nothing to do with the fact that she's black or woman. I know that because you're Spanish. I know that.
Much respect.
It's just that I don't like her personality. Sorry, I'm entitled to not like her.
Agreed.
Absolutely agree. I don't like TM. I don't like Zverev, and I explained it why. You are definitely entitled to that.
Yeah, that's a great statement.
You would be one of the few, very few that don't like her just because of her.
Well, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. There are many people that don't like Serena, unfortunately.
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons. There are some very few. That's what I'm saying. He's in the small percentage of the reason.
Well, I still think there's a very large percentage of people that don't like Serena simply because of the match versus Kim Clijsters or the tirade or the weird thing that happened at the U.S. Open with Osaka and that whole dramatic thing. There are a lot.
Yeah, that was overboard. I mean, she took away the moment from Osaka.
I mean,
that's
to me, the shoving the ball down the throat statement was really kind of just like, wow.
You know what? Something though.
Like,
back in my days,
how do you say that?
Let me tell you something. Back in my days, when I was 16, 17 playing tennis, I think I would have told someone, I'm going to shove that freaking ball down your throat. I think I would have done it. I'm just saying. As an adult, no way.
And you know, maybe the chair umpire could have laughed that off, you know, been like, oh, that's kind of funny. No, it wasn't the chair umpire. I think it was a lines person, wasn't it?
What do you mean I don't like metrosexual beta men?
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I love everyone, man. I have gay friends, bisexual friends, straight friends.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I come from New York where everybody's a mixture. I lived in Florida where everybody's a mixture, and I really don't care.
Yeah, and myself, I've lived in Vermont, I lived in California, I lived in Alabama, and multiple places in between. Carla and I always have our door open. We actually never lock our door, honestly. It stays open. Have we ever locked our door?
No.
The front door? I don't even think we have a key.
No, I do have a key,
but Carla and I always have the door open, and a lot of people know that. So we have a lot of people visit us. They don't have to ask; they know that they'll just show up.
I meet all types of people,
and they'll spend a couple of days. But you know, they can be from India, or they can be from wherever. They can be Buddhist, or they can be atheist.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. They can have any different orientation, whatever, and they're breaking bread with us, hanging out with the kids.
I have friends. My best friend thinks totally opposite of me, and we've been best friends since we were 10 years old. Completely opposite of me, and I'm still her best friend.
Yeah. We're totally open-minded to really anything. We have all walks of life.
I mean, they wouldn't even believe what religion I was raised. If they hear the religion I was raised, they'll be like, huh?
Well, tell them.
I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, with no disrespect, but like her father, love him to death, great tennis player, wonderful coach, big part of all of our hearts. My kids, he's the greatest grandfather in the world, but he doesn't celebrate birthdays. He doesn't celebrate Christmas with the tree. There is none of that, and that's how she was raised, and that's okay. That's his belief, and we respect that, and we love him to death. Have some of the greatest times in our lives with Grandpa Nathan, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's just him, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So, yeah, I'm open to everything.
One of the best coaches.
Everything, and I'm serious about that. I am I don't judge people by, I just don't, because I've been through so much in life. Obviously, the man I met, things happened to him, and if I was that type of person, I wouldn't be with him.
Yeah, if you guys knew the story of why I lost my freedom, I'm proud to talk about it, and I used to share it with gymnasiums full of kids. When I got out, I would travel around, and while I was there and talk to children, sometimes gyms full of children, I would be requested to come talk to them about what happened to me, making stupid decisions and so forth. So I'm proud of it, but there has been numerous times in my life where any walk of life has been opened. My door has been open to. Number two is Ethan DA still out there, by the way?
Yes, he is. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, wow, okay, I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I was raised that way, but I'm not. My kids go to a Baptist church. So, see what I mean? I'm very...
And we celebrate Christmas.
We have, I do have some of that my dad,
Christmas is my favorite holiday. I put up the tree.
I'm not very... I was raised that way, so I did follow a lot of that stuff as a kid. I was a very good kid throughout high school.
I like Christmas so much, I put up the tree on November 1st, so we get 2 months of tree. But to Ethan DA, is he out there?
Yes, he is.
So Ethan, this one's to you, bro. Nothing but love for you. You're a part of our repertoire on a daily basis, Carlo.
Oh, okay, your family's Jehovah's Witness. Okay, Matt Cain. Okay.
There you go. Good job. Matt Cain's a wonderful musician, by the way. If anybody goes to, I don't know if he has it on his channel, but he has an Instagram page. He's a wonderful musician, a fine young man, and has won our tennis racket before. We love you, Matt Cain. But to Ethan Da, and I hope he doesn't hate me for this, but some of the best times, I used to do a lot of clubbing because I did freestyle rapping and we would do rap battles and travel everywhere. And we would go with kind of an entourage. But a lot of the clubs would be so kind of just negative environment where after we would get done performing, we would leave and we want to go elsewhere. Some of the best times we had were actually at homosexual bars. No one was, people always say, oh, why would you go there? There was some of the nicest people, some of the most welcoming people, and some of the best times after those really kind of, raucous scenes in the clubs with these freestyle battles. People would be fighting and waving guns in the air and all this trouble. We would get out of there and we would go into a really peaceful environment. So some of the best times we had during that kind of tumultuous time of my life. And after that, I got out and I graduated from college and got my degree and got back into coaching and met Carla, and life is gravy. But some of the best times I had to get out of that troubling scene was in those types of places. So I have a lot of respect because a lot of the places I found myself in, I knew I shouldn't be there, but I found myself there anyway. And sometimes I would find myself at home there. So whatever that means to anybody.
And I have great conversations with Ethan. As a matter of fact, one of the few people that, we might disagree on a lot of stuff, but he kind of makes me see like the different side of why,
Yeah.
So I'm open, kind of opens my eyes. I'm
much
like,
love,
okay.
bro.
So yeah.
I'll do that. Much respect.
B-Dog said gay clubs now, bro.
Well, but B-Dog.
B-Dog is more of a like, I will crush you.
Me too. But especially like New Orleans and Houston and Atlanta. Some of the clubs, man. Literally, you're just waiting for shots to be fired. We would have to go. We knew it would be a safer environment there. And even some of the other performers would agree. No one wants to go get into any trouble. And unfortunately, it ended up happening, but I wish I would have spent more time there than I did at the other clubs.
Oh, yeah. All right, well.
But anyway, I get you.
So we're going to read some comments?
Yeah, read some comments.
All right, here we go.
And then anything that you want to read, or you want us to read?
Yang Hao said it wouldn't surprise me if Federer is not as nice as he seems. Mm-hmm.
He could be. He could be diva-ish too.
Yeah, I think he could.
He very well could be.
I don't know. All right.
Everyone has a dark side. Everyone has
a dark side.
Everyone has a skeleton in the closet for the most part.
Yeah, exactly.
I just tell it like it is, so I don't really have to worry about too many skeletons because I just tell you.
Okay, I like this comment by Jorde Ralich. He says Federer hitting the little boy in the head, later saying, "You must be ready for the ball." So that's what, a little bit deepish. I'm kind of tired of that whole subject. So
I am too, but nonetheless, it did happen, and it's a good comment. But unfortunately, times. And my dad said something to me the other day. I sent him the article about Federer hitting the person in the head of the balls or wherever, and then he obviously knew about the Djokovic incident. Here was my dad's answer to it, and it was respectful. My dad is very thoughtful and doesn't have knee-jerk reactions. He tends to think it out first. He said this. He said, the world then in 2006 is much different than the world now. We have, you name it, what's going on. We have the pandemic, and we have 28 million people unemployed. Mm-hmm. We have people on edge. We have people, mass shootings and all this stuff, this crazy stuff. It wasn't so much the case in 2006, but now it's very common. So I guess his answer was the world was different in 2006 as it is now. Some things were tolerated just 3 years ago that aren't tolerated now.
The world's changed.
Just 7 months ago, the thought of wearing a mask to go in a store was just, are you serious? And now it's just normal. So the world has changed.
Let me get to a comment. This guy 1000. I'm going to get to your comment about Zverev because I had to laugh when you said this comment. He says, Carla, your bias against Zverev is making you irrational. You don't like the way he conducts himself, so therefore, in your mind, it means that he's not a good player and his entire game is rubbish. You speak about him like he's some college bum who picked up a tennis racket yesterday and randomly found himself in the U.S. Open semifinal. All that talk about deserving it if he wins the title was nonsense. It has to be said. Why wouldn't he deserve it? And you're always picking his opponents to beat him. Laugh out loud. Every time Justin asks, who you got? Zverev or opponent? Your answer is always opponent. He's making me sound like I am biased. You're shocked that he's a pro? You're shocked that he's the 5th seed? Made it to the semifinal? You think he doesn't have a game? If this is how you truly feel, then please explain how he has managed to be in the top 10 for 3 years. No one is going to say that he's an angel or a sweetheart or anything. I think we can all see that he has an attitude issue. He just needs to fix it. So you're not completely wrong, but everyone whines and complains at times. No one's perfect. I'm a huge fan of this guy myself, but I can at least be somewhat impartial about him. You should try to do the same.
It's a good comment.
He got me with that comment.
It was good.
He got me. You got me with that comment. You're right. It makes me sound biased. I have to. Yeah, I agree with him. Every time he says, "Who do you got?" Severin, I always go against him. You're right. Maybe I am.
The reason why Carla is biased there, the reason why she is heavily biased there is I think it is because she has 3 boys. We have 5 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls. The oldest boys, the 2 oldest boys, we are very tough on. There is no excuses for anything less than an A in the household. What happens, Carla? Hold on. Let me ask you a couple questions. What happens, Carla, if any one of the boys comes home with less than an A? I mean an A in school. What do I do?
Everything gets taken away.
They have no freedoms. They have nothing.
Yeah.
My oldest son that's at the Air Force Academy, he did not have his first cell phone until halfway through his senior year of high school. Nothing. And he always made straight A's, so I didn't have to take anything away. I just didn't give it to him. What happens when Chris, who is our 16-year-old, bright young man, really good tennis player, what happens when Chris talks back to you, Carla?
Yeah. No,
what happens when Chris isn't studying for his ACT? What happens when Chris is not studying for this past 6 months when they've been out of school? What happens, Carla? What happens when Chris complains on the tennis court? What happens when he says he doesn't want to play? What do I say? Mm-hmm. Get the hell out there! You're gonna damn play. It'll be hell to pay. That's what I say, right?
Yeah.
Carla is very tough, tough-minded. So I think Carla's bias is that the moral of the story, when she sees Zverev complain on the court and whine about Lendl's puppy, a lot of people ask me what the hell's up with this Lendl's puppy thing. Then if you don't know about the Lendl puppy ordeal, then you're not really a Zverev fan. I'm not saying he probably knows, but when Lendl was coaching Zverev fired him, and again, I don't want to shoot from the hip and blow something out of proportion, but Zverev said something to the media of, I don't like Lendl. He would come out on the court, and he would bring his puppy, and I don't want that on my court. So in other words, he fired him and his puppy, and I'm exaggerating that, but he didn't.
No, that actually Lendl fired himself.
Yeah. So
yeah, he got me. Yes, I'm being biased. The only reason I don't like him is because I find that there's more deserving people. Everybody's like, he got you. I feel that there's more deserving people that work harder that should be in that ranking. Yes, he's been in the top 10 for a long time. But the thing is, he's never passed Federer. He's never passed Nadal. He's never passed Djokovic. And he can't beat him in an important event like a Grand Slam. Tsitsipas has beaten Federer in a Grand Slam. You can't say the same for Zverev.
Who has really been in the top 10, though, for these past years? Let's be honest with ourselves. Again, I don't like or dislike him. I'm just not a fan. I wish him the best, and I've always said that.
What's bizarre, Alex M?
But hold on. Who has really been in the top 10? The ATP had to create some cheesy-ass next-gen bullshit to finally put some light on someone else outside of the big 3 because no one else could beat them. I mean, how many majors out of the last 50 have been won by the big 3? Like 46 or some crazy number? So the ATP, for marketing reasons, to put more money in all of their pockets, politically or bullshit, whatever, they created the next freaking gen. What are they going to do next? Create the next gen? So
TM's done well against them, but he's not the next generation. He's 26 years old.
But who has been in the top 10 that is just electric and lightning player during the big 3's reign? I mean, it's been a kind of constant shuffle. Yes, Zverev has been in there. Has Kyrgios done much except act like a buffoon on the court, jerking off with a damn water bottle? I don't think so. Give me some more.
Medvedev proved himself.
Medvedev
proved himself, but I can't say the same thing for Zverev, okay? I just think he needs to work harder and take tennis a little bit more serious, because guess what? Time goes by quickly. You're 21, you're 22, before you know it, now you're Dimitrov, almost 30. Now you're screwed.
And then before you know it, you're 65 and you know your hip hurts and your elbow hurts and you look back in time and say, damn, I wish I would have done this. Damn, I wish I would have done that. For me, I'm like, damn, why did I make that stupid mistake? But then I look at destiny and I say, you know what, Carla? If I wouldn't have made the mistake that cost me time in my life, would I have met you, Carla? If I wouldn't have made the mistake, maybe that could have been me instead of Zverev 20 years ago. But I made the mistake. And if it would have happened, Carla, or would not have happened, would I have met you? And now I have 5 beautiful children.
Time is saying time is ticking for Zverev. And I'm sorry, not until I see him put more work, I will be a fan. I see Tsitsipas doing that, even though he has to clean up his act a little bit. Thiem does that. Medvedev's doing that. He's more serious about tennis. I mean, you know what I mean? So I don't see that from Zverev. I put those 3 guys ahead of him. Even Shapo is a lot more serious about tennis.
Well, hold on. After that whack ass Night Train rap song, I'm wondering where he's spinning his dough because he wasn't spinning it in the right studio. That's for damn sure.
He was trying. Anybody can try.
But look.
Let's go back to the match.
But on Zverev, the only thing, if I could tell Zverev, if he was in front of me now, I would say congratulations on your semifinal appearance. I would say you're a really good player. I just wish that you would show the people that watch you and support you that you at least want to be out there, that you at least care about your image in some way, shape, or form, that maybe you could show a smile at some point in time, maybe show some positive energy at some point in time. I just find that he is always whining or griping about something. And if you look in his eyes, he just doesn't look that happy out there.
He's got a chance against Carreno Busta, right? They're playing tomorrow. He has a big chance for him to finally make a final of a Grand Slam, what everybody's waiting for. They always talked about this guy being the next big thing. He's got his chance right here. Big chance. Carreno Busta, big chance. It would have been Djokovic. Big chance, bro. Like Kyrgios said, bro. Take the chance, man.
You know, I really wish, though, Thiem and Medvedev were on opposite sides of the draw. Because Thiem and Medvedev, in my opinion, are better players than Busta and Zverev.
Yeah. That's going to be a battle. Thiem and Medvedev beat Rublev, and Thiem make Di Manor look like nothing.
Yeah,
those matches were quick, just like Azarenka with Mertens, which I'm shocked she won 6-1, 6-0, by the way. Mertens didn't even show up.
But I'm telling you,
Azarenka's
not screwing around. She's been through enough. She almost had her child stripped away from her. She had to come out of the game because she couldn't travel anywhere because of the child. You know the feeling, Carla. We know the feeling firsthand. Mm-hmm. It's catastrophic. The poor girl, Azarenka, she used to be much thicker, and now she is very skinny. For her still to be able to put the pace on the ball at this point is commendable. Who's Azarenka's coach now? Can anybody tell me who that coach is now?
Find out. But
because commendable for the coach to get her here.
She's happy. The whole Busta Zverev match, we know Carreno Busta can hit the ball back a lot.
I think
what does
Zverev
have to do to win that match? Think about that. What does this guy have to do to beat Busta?
Zverev cannot cough up handfuls of double faults, first of all. He cannot. He cannot afford the double fault 2 handfuls of times. If he coughs up, if it's a 3-5 set match, he can't cough up 10, 15 double faults. I was teaching one of our favorite students today. They're all our favorites, but I really let her have it. And she was playing a set versus you, Carla, and I think she threw up 9 double faults in the set. What? Now, this is a 15-year-old girl that's extremely athletic, a really good player, but her damn serve just, it pisses me off. What did I do when she coughed up 9 double faults today, Carla? This is a 15-year-old girl. How hard did I lay into her, Carla?
Very hard.
I let her have it.
Yeah.
And her mom was there, and I said, look, at the end of the lesson, I said, I'm sorry, but you're too good to freaking double fault 9 times, and if it happens again, I'm going to run your ass.
Alex M said Dorian Descloix is the coach. I don't know him.
Thank you.
I'm sure that he's probably had many students.
Well, that guy deserves a shout out. What's his name?
Dorian Descloix.
Thank you for that. Because to pull someone mentally together, when you get to a level of, say, Federer or Serena or Djokovic or any of these players, at least, the super consistent big time players, there's a saying is, why do they need a coach? Why does Roger Federer need a coach? Why does Djokovic need a coach? It's not that they need a coach to teach them ground strokes or tactics. Some of the lower tier players, they need tactics. They need to make their shots more compact. They need to keep the handle down and the head up. They need to be more compact on the return. These guys get it, but why do they need a coach? Because it's still some guidance that they need. It's still some support that they need. It's still some positive influence in their life that they need when they're going through things like Djokovic is going through when he accidentally hit the ball or the lines person. It's a way of moral support. I get family can do it, but what happens, Carlo, when we try to support our own kids in tennis tournaments? They're like, shut up, get away from me. You know, there's something that parents can't do at a certain point in time because they need to hear it from someone else. What happens when we try to train our kids, Carla? They always got some shit to say. But what happens when someone else coaches them? They keep their mouth shut and listen. So again, for Azarenka to be mentally together to the point where millions of people are watching her post-match press conference, to keep her saying things like, I will fight all night long, I will play for 3 hours, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you think, I've been through enough, I'm here to play and I'm here to win. Someone is coaching and channeling that, and you have to commend it.
Yeah. So I see this guy says Zverev is a grinder too, but he's not as good as Carreño Busta. He's going to have to put some balls away. He cannot go back and forth with this guy.
Let's ask the question to everyone. In comments, who you got? Zverev or Carreño Busta? I'll go ahead and tell you, again, it's not that I don't like the guy. I've already said that. I just don't find him happy on the court, and Carreño Busta is not going to get up or down. He's going to give everything back. He doesn't have a lot of weapons. He's going to put the ball back in the court, and wait for someone to make a mistake. Now, if Zverev coughs up double faults, and starts complaining about this or that or this call or that call, will Zverev beat Busta? I don't think so, unless he grows up somehow between the last match we watched and the first set when he dropped it to George. He was whining like a baby.
We got Jack Nolte says PCB, Mondo says Busta, Alex M says Zverev, Gene says PCB in 4 sets. This guy says Zverev, of course. Jack Nolte says Busta. Alex PR says, I say Zverev, but I want Pablo to win. Zverev, and Mondo says Zverev will defeat himself.
And that's it. I mean, I think here you got 10 people, and I think only 2 said Zverev, and 8 said...
Matt says PCB, V Savage says Zverev will choke.
See, I mean, it's not like or dislike. It's just the track record. It's the overall package. It's his resume leading up to this point. Who is going to be hungrier? Who's going to be more of a man? Who is going to get in battle and get into the trenches?
So Zverev is German, right?
Yeah.
But someone says Zverev means beast in Russian. I mean,
That's a good take.
I didn't know that.
So Zverev translates to beast in Russian.
This match is totally Zverev's hands. His first serve is massive.
Agreed, but his double faulting. His double faulting sometimes is massive. So let me ask you a question.
Massive too,
so if Zverev hits 10 aces, okay, 10 free points, great. But if he has 10 double faults, aces, double faults, it just went to 0. So he can come out and serve 20 aces, 20 free points. But let's say he has 12 double faults. His ace count just went to 8. So you have to look at, all of our students that we teach.
Oh, you said you're not a fan of him. So you're not a fan of him, this guy. Okay, I thought you were a fan. Sorry.
Well, I think he's just, I think he's being,
well, he caught me
I think he's being human and being real. I think his thinking is just saying, hey, this guy's human.
He's got Russian origins. I used to play with a lot of Russian kids in New York, and I'm sorry, he just doesn't seem to have the fight that they have. He just doesn't. You look at Medvedev, the guy might be a toothpick, but he's going to try to kick your ass in the street. You know what I mean?
We said earlier there's 2 reactions to human emotions. One is to fight and one is flight. It's called the fight or flight response. Google it up, check it out, Psychology 101. I think Zverev's reaction is more flight, and doing so he tends to whine and gripe about it. If he can find a way to humbly fight and dig deep, get in the damn trenches and understand this is battle, it's warfare, it's a simulation of a freaking duel to the death. And keep your by the way, in a couple of weeks, I think I have to have another surgery on my arm. It's not healing the way it is supposed to be. So in the future, I don't know when the French Open is, but I think there's a high likelihood I have to have plates put in my arm. Unfortunately. So I'm really sketched out about that. I won't get into that. None of you probably care. But if we're during the French Open and I've got plates in my arm, then it's really going to suck. I've been 9 months fully injured. In 9 months, I have managed to break my arm twice, the second time disastrously, and then ruptured my patellar tendon. So I've been freaking injured for 9 freaking months, and it sucks, and it looks like I got to have another surgery. Anyway, don't worry about me.
Oliver Field says, do you think that Kyrgios is talented?
Yes.
Waste of talent. Another waste of talent.
Yes. Who asked that?
Oliver Field.
Oliver, I think Kyrgios is very talented.
But it's
I
time,
think he's extremely talented.
Time is passing quickly as well.
There's two things with Kyrgios that have always hurt him. By the way, I do like the guy. I know Rajesh would always kill me saying that. But part of the way Kyrgios is the way I used to be, which cost me a long time away from normality. So I've always liked Kyrgios because he reminds me of the way I was at his age. The two problems with it is, number one, he's never been able to channel his fire to anything positive. It's always, some jerking off the water bottle or something along the lines.
You should forget about that, though, seriously.
But his dedication to the game is just not there. Tennis is a sport that we have to live, we have to breathe, we have to play it, we have to spend hours on the court every single day, we have to respect it, we have to talk to people, we have to interact with people. We have to interact with coaches. To my understanding, I still don't think he has a coach. I still think he's like.
Well, at least he's saving himself the money because he would be wasting it on a coach.
But surely his sponsors pay him. So for instance, Zverev is not Zverev, but Kyrgios is kind of like, in a way, my 16-year-old son. I can tell my 16-year-old son something that's factual, but he will seem to think that he has a better way to do it. He's the type of kid that you can tell, hey, your ACT's coming up, and if you don't get a 29 on it, you won't be able to get into that college you want to go to. You have to study it. And his response would be something like, well, I already took a practice test. I'm good. You got to study it. I've taken it. We've all taken it. You have to take things more seriously. Oh, I got this. He's kind of like the Kyrgios attitude. Kyrgios thinks he always has this and doesn't need any help, and he can take it under his own wing, and I think that hurts him. Number two is he doesn't spend much time off the court in the gym.
Yeah, this guy said Kyrgios has zero fight.
Yeah, zero fight. He's a fight guy, and then when he gets pissed off, he just makes a scene to change the narrative and then bails
Gene
out.
says tennis is a mental game, and Kyrgios is missing that ingredient.
Great point, Gene.
Matt Kane says, can I ask how much does a top coach cost? I mean, like at a pro level, I'm not sure. Everybody has different rates. If you're looking for like your typical...
I can speak from the players that I've coached and traveled with.
Typical USPTA coach is $120 an hour, something like that. $80 to $120.
When I was in Vermont for a while, there was a young man that for about a year and a half of time that I traveled with and did one-on-one coaching. He was a high-level junior. And a very solid one at that. And my pay per year was about $40,000, and that was plus the traveling expenses. And that's look. Could I survive on that right now with 5 children and rent to pay after taxes? No, I still had to pay taxes on that. So it was divided out amongst 12 months. So $40,000 divided by 12. And so I would get that, and then I would have to pay taxes out of it and so forth. So you would bring home maybe half of that. You'd pay for insurance, so there goes less than that. Because at the time I was still...
Tennis coaches, unless you're a super, super, super famous coach, you're not going to pay much. Honestly. Yeah. You're not, because you would have to be someone like Patrick.
And Patrick is just a jack-in-the-box movie star.
But I'm just saying.
But forget Patrick.
Those coaches are...
I'm tired of hearing about
those
Mortagalou.
Coaches are making a lot.
If someone can finally tell me that Mortagalou has raised a player from scratch, I'm talking he or she went to his academy, went there as a junior and developed all the way through.
No one does. They all leave.
All the way through the ranks of a champion. I would like to know it. Until that
Shapovalov's mom.
Until that occurs, I don't want to hear about Patrick Mortagalou. I find Patrick Mortagalou self-indulged. I find him as all about himself. You can find some young player that's just jumping on the scene that wins some big matches. And there you go. He pops up in their damn box. That's why I call him Jack in the Box. That's what I'm saying. So Patrick Mortagalou is self-indulged, in my opinion, only.
No, you don't get bonus if a player wins at a junior tournament.
If it's in a contract, no, not junior tournaments. There's no payout there. When you get into the challenges, there's slight payouts, and there can be some contractual stuff in there, but there's no payouts in junior tournaments.
You only make your money if the pro is at high level.
Here's a question. Is there a payout in the junior Wimbledons, junior U.S. Opens, junior French Opens, and junior Australian Opens? I don't know the answer to that.
No,
I should,
no.
But is there a payout?
No, because they can't. If they take money, they can't go. They're not able to go to college on a scholarship. There is not. I know that.
If a junior player takes any money, they cannot go to college because they are considered a pro athlete. They can go to college, but they cannot get a scholarship because of it.
Yeah.
Hence why college players, football players, or any of them can't take money and they have to do it under the table. Yeah, you all right?
We've been over an hour. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, anyway, real quickly, let's talk about a couple things that I had written here. Number one, Naomi Osaka. Does she win the tournament?
I think so. So wait, I gotta answer this question. James says, "Why do you do not like Team Carla?"
Answer it.
I just don't. I can't.
She doesn't like anybody.
I can't. I do.
Who?
I can't stand the grunting. I think he's a great player. I think he deserves a slam. Deserved a slam a long time ago. I just he reminds me of watching the Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day.
Master Splinter.
Master Splinter, his whole little frosty thing.
And the little girly headband's kind of cheesy.
Yeah. And that whole thing when he bitched about Serena, yeah, shut up.
Has anyone noticed that Dominic Thiem is hitting the slice a whole lot more?
It's working though.
It's working, but he is really driving the slice. I do it when I play a lot. So
Explain yourself.
Explain what?
Now everybody's attacking me now. I gotta explain why I don't like certain players.
All right, let's go. Then answer
Just because.
Look, Carla's very hard to please. I know firsthand.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie. You know?
I'm not that tough to please. I like a lot of players.
Who? Tell me. Don't look. Tell me some men's players that you like, Carla.
I like Federer. I like Nadal. I like Djokovic.
That are playing in this tournament right now.
Shapovalov, who lost. I like Busta. I got no problem with Medvedev.
Okay. You answered.
I mean, I like a lot of players. There's a lot of players I like here.
Just testing.
A lot. I mean, there's some that get on my nerves, but that's about it.
All right. Well, I think you collected yourself after that one. Does Osaka win the tournament?
She has a great chance.
Yes or no?
So far, no one's challenged her, so I say yes. I don't want her to. I'd rather see one of the moms win, so we'll see.
Does Alexander Zverev win the tournament?
No.
Does Daniil Medvedev win the tournament?
Yeah, he has a great chance. Him or Thiem. Whoever wins that match is the winner.
So the semifinal between the two, who wins that? One of the two. You can't pick either one.
Thiem or Medvedev?
Yeah. Who wins?
I think Medvedev will win it.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I'd be curious what the betting odds there are as well. I'm really curious what the betting odds are on the women's side. Who wins between...
Carla is a tennis fan, not a player fan. What do you mean by that?
She's a hell of a tennis player, though.
I like Su Wei Sheng. I like her. I like her game. I think it's cool. She brings a lot of fun into tennis. You know, I like her game.
Yeah, I understand that Carla's not... she's a tennis fan, but Carla is a staunch and a very good tennis player.
Actually, I look at players' strokes and how they conduct themselves, and that's how I go by. That's why I can never like Kyrgios, ever.
All right, I'm going to ask a question. And by the way, again, alluding to you, I know I give you shit, Carla, and I do it every day for a lot of years. But Carla, she is an incredible tennis player. She's incredibly strong. I don't know if you've ever seen her legs. You can go to our Facebook page.
Honestly, I wish that I would listen more to my dad. I feel like I could have been really
so,
beating a lot of people.
In the description field in these videos, by the way, you can hit a down arrow. It'll drop down, and there's a link to our Facebook page. And it's Justin, Justin, space Carla, Carla, space Davis. If you go there and do a friend request, we'll accept it. I think we have like 3,000 people on there, so we have room. But you can see a lot of the tennis stuff. You can see our courts. You can see a lot of our students. You can see Carla play. Myself play. Again, I haven't played in 9 months because of injuries that have just been relentless.
Serena or Vika to win.
But Carla is a really, really good tennis player. She can hang out. She can play with anyone. Some of these women on tour, she would beat. Just saying, and she would probably go through them even at 41. Obviously not, some of these that are hanging in here now, but some of these girls that make it on wild cards and that come through qualifying and stuff like that, Carla would still be right there. I can promise you that, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm not just saying that. I think there's some old YouTube videos of her playing way back before we knew what we were doing. But Carla's an electric player and a fine player at that. But I'm going to name 8 players that are here in the semifinals. We have Osaka, Zverev, Medvedev, Thiem, Busta, Azarenka, and Brady. If you had to put $100 on one of those players to win their respective draw or their tournament, whether it's male or female, if you had to put $100 on one player to win it, male or female, who would you take?
I'd have to put it on Osaka.
I think I would have to put it on Osaka as well.
I have to. She has the better draw.
Maybe Azarenka.
Yeah, but I think the Serena match is tougher. The semifinals, and I'm gonna watch these semifinals tonight. Osaka should run through Brady. I'm sorry, but Azarenka Serena is gonna be the blockbuster match to me.
Yeah, and I don't think Dominic Thiem's going to be able to get away with slicing the ball so much against Medvedev.
I want Serena to win this slam, but if Azarenka beat her, I'm fine with that because Azarenka deserves it too after everything she's been through. She's had some tough draws. I'm for both of them.
If you were Medvedev and Thiem kept slicing the ball to you off the backhand side, cross court to the backhand, if you're Medvedev, what do you do with the ball? I rip it up the line with the open court. I do not think that Thiem can slice his way through Medvedev. I think Medvedev...
Thiem has an old-fashioned game, by the way. If you look at his stroke, it's not so loopy. It's very flat.
Yeah, he's compact. He's good.
It's very flat.
But Medvedev will take that backhand up the line. You slice it to him 10 times in a row, Medvedev will take that ball up the line. All right. Real quickly at the end, real quick fantasy team update. If you are playing this, there is only 6 people that are even left that have a, oh shit, here it is. No, I don't know if I think I lost it. Oh no, I have it. Okay. There are 6 people that are left that have a chance to get the big 2 prize boxes, okay? In first place is Stefan Nizovic with 73 points, impressive, with 3 players left. There are 2 people tied for second place. Kasper, he's in Poland, Stefan is in Serbia, and Kasper's in Poland. International, baby, let's go. Kasper has won this before, but Kasper has 70 points, 70, with 4 left. Kenneth Chow, by the way, has 70 points with 4 players left. So they're tied for second. Sergin Jovanovic, as well, I think, is in Serbia. Sergin Jovanovic has 69 points, 5 players left, and has all 4 women's semifinalists.
Wow.
He has all 4.
Wow.
He nailed the semi. He has Brady, he has Osaka, he has Azarenka, and he has Serena. Watch out. He could creep into the lead with that. So if it plays out well for him, he could win this thing, be one of the 2 winners. Milena Brzezinska has 69 points with 3 players left. So Stefan first, 2 people tied for second, Kasper and Kenneth Chow. 2 people tied for third, Sergin Jovanovic and Milena Brzezinska both have 69 points. Sergin with 5 players left, Milena with 3. And solo fourth place with a mathematical chance to still win or still be one of the top 2 finishers is JMP 1966 with 66 points and 4 players left. So best of luck to all of you guys. It's been the tightest fantasy team competition we have had to date. Don't forget, we'll do it again for the French Open as well. Give away... I can't quite reach it, never mind. But the Dunlop Revo Strixon CD 2.0, that was Carla's demo for a while.
I think Matt Kane, you're out. I think you're out.
Matt Kane, yeah, you were eliminated, bro. You don't have a mathematical chance to win. If I didn't call your name, you're mathematically impossible to win because you might have a couple of players left, but these people that have all these points, they have the same players and more. So it's not possible for you to catch. I've been through it 25 times or more. You can go to the fantasy team giveaway video and look at everyone's teams. Everyone's team's there. I try to keep up with it. I mean, Carla, how many hours?
He was kidding. Come on.
Oh,
all right.
I spent hours doing this,
Yeah.
and I think I did it pretty well.
All right, guys.
Anyway, that's it. Much
We'll
love
see
to
you
all of
tomorrow.
you. Hasta mañana. Oh, freaking arms.